Mic is on? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You gave me bad advice.
I did. It's the other
Darn it.
way. I gave everyone
right,
bad
thank you.
advice.
Oh.
Sorry. 0. Yeah, 0's off. Sorry.
All right. Thank you, virtual participants, for tuning in today. We do stream all of our meetings live. You don't have to come in here in person to be able to observe our proceedings, but we appreciate those who participate in person as well as those virtually. So without further ado, the first item on today's agenda is a review of the minutes of the meeting of February 6th. Colleagues, did everyone have a chance to review the minutes?
So you're going to approve the agenda?
Thank you.
It's only because you've done it twice already.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, I asked for Roman numeral 0, but I guess it doesn't exist. Approve agenda. Jake, remember to approve the agenda. Colleagues, you do have an agenda before you for today's meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda or to amend the agenda.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Any discussion?
And we got on here a discussion regarding, can we go early voting elections, officials, vacancies? All right. Does that include that numbered memo? We've got a discussion of early election voting officials vacancies. Would that include that numbered memo that the? that
Yes,
the
yes, it
state
would.
set up? Okay.
The numbered memo is 2023-07, and it outlines the manner in which we are supposed to fill vacancies that occur among the roster of early voting officials.
Okay, that's all. I just wanted to clarify that about the agenda, and I'm ready to vote on it if you wish.
All right. All right, there's a motion before the board. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye.
Yes.
All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. Mr. Schultz, thank you for that gentle reminder. It is deeply appreciated. Now, minutes. Roman numeral 1. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of February 6th, and may we all live long and prosper. Mr. Cito has moved approval of the minutes. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. Next up on the agenda is office updates. Director Duncan.
Thank you. So the meeting that we have today, you see the agenda before us. We have a few discussion items and, of course, absentee ballot review. And we have more than we have had at previous meetings, so it'll take us a little bit, not a huge number more. And then we will do another transition to the warehouse to do board testing for the election day equipment. We also, this time, because last time took a little bit of time, we do have dinner for you. All right, updates. Early voting starts on Thursday. So we have all the sites set up. We have 11 sites for Buncombe County, and we have all of them set up except for one. We have Reynolds Village that we are setting up tomorrow. But everything is good to go otherwise. Just as a reminder, early voting starts on Thursday, ends on Saturday, March 2nd. We have passed the registration deadline, but you can register and vote with same-day registration during early voting. That's not on election day, but during early voting you can do that. You need to bring proof of residency and have been in Buncombe County 30 days prior to the election. During early voting, just like on election day and just like for absentee, you do need a photo ID or the exception form. The absentee numbers, this is not surprising because since the 2020 general election, absentee has become more popular, but we have surpassed the number of requests for absentee ballots for the 2020 primary. So we expected that we would see more, and we are seeing more. and you'll see 207 at this meeting today. Victoria and I attended the state board conference, and most of it was a affirmation of the changes that we have reviewed. There were a few things that I wanted to point out that are small. There is one of the resolutions later we will talk about. Some of you are aware of that change. We'll talk about that at the resolution. And then there is a new PDF of the new law book. So with the laws incorporated, there's a PDF which I forwarded to all of you by email. And a hard copy is planned, but that will be for later in the spring after the election, April. And we can guess on the color of what law book that will be. I don't know. We talked about this already, but August 4th through 6th is the next conference, and all of the board will be attending that, so make sure that's on your calendar, as well as all of staff. So that conference should be pretty big. There were staff members and board members from other counties that weren't able to attend, which makes sense. It was a difficult time for attendance for this one, but August should be nice big attendance, so good networking opportunities. And then I did want to point out one thing. There was a county that was challenged on an opens meetings violation. I believe that they were found to not be in violation, but I did want to remind the board to make sure that we're following those rules, not having quorums outside of meetings.
Can I ask a question about that? Was that violation, I don't want to know the name of the county, but was it a violation where there was an actual meeting that that 3 or more people called, or was it just inadvertent?
I don't know the details of it either. I can find it out for you if you would like. That it's probably in the meetings. Actually, it certainly is in the meeting minutes for the state board when they had that hearing. The next thing is I have started my media availability. So I did one today. I'll do another one on Thursday. I'll do that live from the Shiloh Center at an early voting location. And then I'm also doing a Let's Talk community kind of town hall style event on Friday at 1 o'clock. And that one will be Facebook Live. We have the portal open right now at Public Input, Buncombe County's Public Input portal, where you can submit questions, and then I'll do my best to answer those questions. And people can submit them live too during the event. So I'm doing that Friday at 1 o'clock. The candidate and media guide is out. I forwarded that also to the board, so just making you aware that that went out to all of the candidates. And when we sent out the media availability, we also attached it so that the media is aware of the rules around voting locations. Some of you attended the emergency tabletop last week. That was a great event. We can't talk about details of it, but it was a really good networking event to see all of our partners that help support elections. And then the last thing I wanted to make everyone aware of was that the state is doing a photo ID information campaign. And I forwarded a press release actually on that just before the meeting, so you probably haven't seen it yet. But they're doing different media, TV, radio ads, that sort of thing. And they also sent out this mailer to all the households in North Carolina that talks about photo ID. It has important election dates. It shows the different IDs that you can bring to voting. It also says that you can get a free ID from the DMV or from elections offices. And if you value your time, you should probably go to the elections offices. We can do it in 15 minutes. But that's something that people should be starting to get in their mailboxes now. And that is all.
Thank you, Director Duncan. Colleagues, any questions or comments? All right, thank you. Next up, absentee ballot review. Mr. Tate, it's good to see you again.
Great to be here. All right. Thank you all. Proceedings will proceed much like last week. We do have some ballots to be reviewed by the board. Similar scenarios. The ballots were returned in the clear plastic sleeve, as well as we noticed that they needed ID exception forms. That's why those are on the outside of these envelopes. But if you would, I'm going to divide these. If Ms. Brain and Mr. Schultz, if you'll work together, and then if you two would do the same. The one on the top here, the voter stated that the ID is in the ballot, but again, we would need you to check that before we can get into it. So I'll give you a copy of the list, and the same for you. So there you go, if you don't want to check that.
Help us through this.
So really on these, like I said, we noticed that they didn't have ID.
Okay.
And these are from an assisted living facility. So you'll need to open this, check, see if the ballot is in there, and then we can reseal that.
So these are people who,
They filled it out incorrect,
filled it out incorrectly.
but they've got but you go ahead and make sure that they've got into it, or that even the ballot's worth saving for the next.
We have to reseal these,
We'll have to reseal them.
and they go back to get an actual form?
No, this is the form. We've just gotten ahead of it. We just need to know if the ballots or the envelope is okay, that it doesn't need to be spoiled, that it can carry over till next week's.
Okay, so this ID acceptance form is gonna go in the ballot?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. And so what you would do, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure it matches, and yeah, there's a couple extra steps on this one, so. There's the check marks on the side. I get those for you. Actually, I should put them on the other side next time. Make it a little easier. So what?
Sealed this.
Right.
Left
So
the ballot in there.
so you would put the ballot with that. Oh no, but not back into it. We need to open it.
Right, I see, okay. This
Place.
is one of those
There you go.
scenarios come through.
It wasn't
Memo.
Yeah, it was the new the new.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guess what?
Did they put it in? There you go.
So take that out.
And you can put that on there. And then let me get you. Oh, you got stickers for them? Good. There you go. And then once the ballot goes back in, then they can both go together if you want to.
This is kind of goofball. For some reason, I remember.
Well, no, they filled this one, they got this one filled out because they didn't have it. It wasn't. Make sure it's on a second. They didn't know it was there, but they sealed them out.
Correct. Let me vote twice.
It was in there.
I can pull them up. Let me check. While y'all are doing that, I'll check.
That one's not completely filled out. This one is checked out. But open both of this in together. This one's not checked. Put that on this side. Put it back inside of this side.
Where is it?
And that's what they're sticking to when we See what this is?
Oh, on the maps that Maggie.
We're going to double check.
This one was, they stuck the outer envelope and the inner envelope together.
See, what he's saying is we have a ballot and they did include this, but it's inside the ballot envelope. So he's
Okay.
asking why we're resealing it to do next week.
Because we
the
don't have it
maps.
on our list.
Yes, I agree.
It's not been put on our list. But go ahead and put that on the outside.
Right.
Yep. And we put only the ballot on it.
Right, that's what we
Yep.
So you process this now and then bring it back next
Right,
week?
right. We're gonna take all these and, then we'll check them in properly. And then you'll see them next week.
put this one on the outside so we'll see it.
Right.
I know.
Yep.
How is it that it's
Are we gonna clip it to those?
Yeah, just, well, put it back in. We'll just,
how is it again, there were two federal ID exception forms?
This ID exception form was inside the ballot. When they did the C one, they went back and got one.
Okay.
this one, the MAT team just happened to be going back to the facility.
So they took another one
Uh-huh.
with them?
And so we took we just, said, hey, get this in case it wasn't inside.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missing ID exception form. Everything on their signature, yes. That one's resealed. So we need to check, put this in there. Yeah, that's the ballot. This is something we did on the last one.
Well, I think we're gonna stick to it, you know,
We need to check this one, but okay, let's see. And I bet the ID form is in there. Oh, that's, yeah. That's an ID.
And again, just for everybody, these were ballots that came in. The ballots were in the clear plastic sleeve for most of these, and so they just have to verify that all of the information matches up for that ballot. Mm-mm. No.
Yeah. We did? I thought we did. I'll pull it up, let's see which one. You might be out of order.
Let's see. There's VZ. That's where that one is.
Okay, then we're,
Oh, you put you put the ID on the inside.
Oh, want it now?
Let's get going. I think I can get it out of there.
All right, so,
There we go. We'll put it right there.
so now we're,
There you go. There's that one.
he's gonna stay out now. So what do you want me to do with that one?
Let's see. Everything looking okay?
Yeah, he's the,
Where's the ballot though? There you go. And that's got to go in there. And as long as everything looks right, ballot number is correct. Yep. You just need to seal it up. You can seal this one. That one's still good. You just got to pull the paper on it. You don't like it.
No,
Here,
it's
I'll take the
inside.
paper for you. Let's see. What was this?
No, the ballot has to go inside before you seal
Where did
it.
this one come?
This one.
Oh, I see what you've done. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yep. If they, you're good. You're good. Thank you. Everything going okay over here?
Yeah.
Except these little cellophane things.
They're paying, are they?
Yes, they are.
so she doesn't have to be back.
Want to seal on it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and put a seal back on top of it. Everything look okay?
Yeah, actually, there's a driver's license copy that is inside.
Put it in on the
Yep.
inside. Yeah, you just got it backwards then, in other words.
That's in there.
So I'll put these together. Did you already do this one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, let's go ahead and get a seal on top of that one.
And that came back this one. for us. We seem to be getting reversed.
This actually was an assistant. This was one of the new ones where the facility could help. So that's why it's a little off.
That's valid.
To make it good. Oops, there's two, there's another gallery.
Is there?
They need to start marking those. They need to start marking the second primary. They're not marking this.
Oh.
And that's not, almost
They'll
all
just
of
have to
them.
request again if we get one.
Yeah, there it is. That's the expiration date.
She's got
Okay.
Mhm.
So we got both of them again.
You did the same thing, when you put a number on the driver's license.
We could accept that one. That's fine. But like I said, when you see it from the outside, you can't tell if they've got one. We just figured we cut some of the time out of it. You can put them both. I would put them both in there. Put them both in there. Yeah, yeah, you're right. There you go. You got it.
Okay, that's just,
go.
that was on the top of the list. What's the name?
Oh, this one? Yeah. Fold it in there again. Well, this one is the one we want to look at anyway next week, so. There you go. Hold that for you. No, we're just trying to reseal it. Thank you. Set that one there.
Oh, that's gotta go inside is the problem. Once again, they need to start checking that. I don't think any of these have had that checked.
Well, that one was still open, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll just put another seal on it. It'll be okay.
Okay, that's gonna have to go.
This is IDs on the outside? Yes. Okay, good. Everything else is okay? Yeah. Okay, good. Like I said, you'll get to see,
Kind of interesting.
you'll get to see them again next week, so.
That's kind of interesting seal, is.
Exactly. But
There you go. Name's correct.
Tricky.
Hey, ballot, yeah, ballot's loose. It's unsealed, but you don't have to. It's in here, anything? No. Okay, we're still not checking that. I don't think any of them had that one checked. That's okay.
Just
Do we just seal this one?
leave this.
yeah, if they're where they're able to be resealed, go for it. Or they haven't sealed it, yes, please. That makes it easier for us to just notate it that it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check this. I don't think any of the, well, no, I want to check it. I don't think any of these had
Second primary.
second primary checks, so that's something to consider. Just didn't want to open, huh?
Makes me laugh when they get the how large some of the photocopies are sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder how they do that. I guess they just put it
Just-
on
You can
So
zoom
yeah,
in.
you can zoom on the scale. Here. This one was sealed when I got it. These are all done.
All done?
Yeah, that's all of them.
Okay. Get everybody on yours if you want to sign down here.
That's good. Do you want us to do you see an outside envelope, I just put a paper clip on it.
We'll go ahead and sign it. We'll go ahead and see what. Or did this? Yeah, let me have one because that was the one that was.
There's one more underneath that.
Okay, I'll have to go grab a stupid.
And there's more, is there any more here?
Let's see. Nah, we just print on the backside. I'll be right back. Tape it. Tape will work, dude. Oh, nope, that's exactly what I need. Ask and you shall receive. Which one needed the one with the paper clip?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Are we marking these accepted if we've looked at them?
Yeah, we will. We'll go in and oh, you're saying for that? Yes. Yeah, and then we can enter them in, and then we'll run them next week. And then just sign down below, and then we'll swap list. Mr. Chairman, if you want to be the first to sign on that sheet. Trade you. John sign those. Just like that. Collect these back from you. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Chairman, if you'll sign that one. Coming on down the line. We'll sign that one. Please. There are those. B sheets. Thank you, sir. One more autograph, if you please. Thank you much. All right, Mr. Chairman, if you'll make a motion to accept those ballots.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tate.
Uh-huh.
All right, colleagues, I want to double check. We just reviewed 6 ballots, 5 overseas civilian and 1 military.
No.
No.
Okay. I'm just looking at my 2/13/2004. What did my colleagues just?
Those
review?
were those are the even prior to that sheet.
Oh.
We haven't even gotten into the meat and potatoes yet.
Okay,
That's what
so-
this is.
We didn't make a motion last week on
We didn't?
Oh, y'all just.
That's right, because you don't have to. Cause
Yeah, because we're not accepting
accepting them
anything
until
yet.
next week. You're right. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Up next, the
But
one.
it should just show that we did review them.
Yeah.
Review 12, whatever they are.
We have
Let
five.
the
But you'll be
record
late.
reflect
We had 5, you had 6.
What it was that we just did, even though there's no resolution, just that we did it.
Mhm.
Do you wanna make a motion?
No,
just in the minutes.
just,
Oh, yeah.
just make a.
Now, we reviewed, what, 11?
Yeah, there's 11.
Yeah, that's all.
So, up next, the one military ballot by mail. Who wants to do it? Anybody? Let's go.
Sally said she did.
She'll do it. All right.
You're gonna help.
But you still need to initial and date, and it works. And then, just now, this is our first paperback in, so
We just have to check to make sure it's initial dated.
it's that person. So that's
Oh,
it.
wow, you've got this.
Well, I'll tell you what, this,
That one we're gonna do triplicate. I'll go ahead and get started on that. This long list. Yeah.
Good idea, really.
Do we pull it out?
Yes, you'll trim it.
Just
Or
like-
trim the bottom, just like a regular ballot.
Okay.
Full
Full size.
It's full size. I know. Here, don't make my duplication team have to come out here early now.
First thread, we're gonna scan this one first time.
So far, so good.
Matt?
That's what I got. That's what I've got.
This is the same thing.
Then we just open it up face down and we'll give it to her.
Mr. Chairman, I just need to take a quick break.
I'll take it. This big pile here. In fact, I'll let y'all sign that. Just gonna go over
And I
to
put 213 here together. Here you go.
one military ballot. There's your one. You're welcome. All right. Thank you much.
That one.
All right. There you go. Sign those. Trade.
I'll hang on to this one until Glenn comes.
Okay. Yeah. Which one? Oh, these are for next. Or no? These are extra copies. Okay. No, they've got them. Thank you. Trying to keep it down from the 4. I was getting up to 4 signed copies per. I don't think we have to go that high.
This one Glenn has to sign.
Okay. Good on that one. Mr. Chairman needs to sign that one. Okay. Got that, the envelope for that one though. It was interesting to see a military ticket out.
Don't get many of those, do you?
No, you don't. Last one. Thanks. Now those you need to accept, or that one. That one.
Colleagues, we've had a chance to review one military absentee ballot. I would entertain a motion to accept that ballot.
I'll move to accept that ballot.
Thank you, Ms. Stein. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Thank you. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Up next, overseas, duplicated ballots. Again, a reminder, all you're doing is checking to make sure that the CIV number, or the OVR number matches that of the ballot that's attached to it that has been duplicated. Once you've done that, one of the board members sign and date here. Or since you're in pairs, if you would both sign, please, that would make things a little more official, I suppose. I'll give you a list to compare it to.
So you want both of us to sign?
Yes, they sign the date there. I think that would be okay. Go ahead and let you get started on one copy. I made extras. Oh, I owe you one for the ballot.
Let's see.
Her one.
Precinct.
Thank you. There you go. You're welcome.
We have precinct, where's our precinct? Here. Let's see if we're in here.
That one look okay?
Style 001.
Get you to sign.
that's what I'm trying to go ahead.
See Alan Johnson at the Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast. That was so cool. I mean, he was as close to me as I am to you. It was huge room. Very cool.
Well, you're working on that. We'll wait on that for a second. Here they are, just. Thank you, sir. There you are. Here, I got it. There you go. Everybody. Let's see, where's some of that? Hold on, this one. Oh, that's everybody. Everybody. One now. You're welcome. All right.
All right, colleagues, we've just had the opportunity to review 5 overseas civilian ballots. Thank you, sir. Although, well, what the heck? I can't help myself. I'm in the mood to make a motion. I move that we accept the 5 overseas civilian ballots that we just reviewed. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. Next up, Mr. Tate.
All right. Now, if my duplication team members would approach the board. And if you'll go with Ms. Stein again. Let's see. Okay, we'll get you with Mr. Aceto. Got you a partner here this time. Let's see. We're going to pair you with Ms. Brain. And then Martha, you're with Mr. Schultz. Sorry, I'm trying to learn names better.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right, so
Martha.
our list for each team. Okay, awesome.
I'm Gail.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. No.
So, the assistant will read the name, and then the board member will confirm, making sure that the signature has been placed and that it has at least 2 witnesses, and that the ID affidavit exception form is on the back. If that's the case, everything checks out, then the board member will open the ballot, placing it face down on the table in order. So, once you change precincts in the list, if you will alternate them, and that would make our lives much easier. So we'll let you get started. And they started at different points on the list. This one. All right. The list. Take your time, and if you have any questions, just let us know.
I'm just gonna start reading off these names.
Well, I just.
Oh, sorry, oh, okay, Alan.
Sure that,
Well, wherever we start will be maybe the block.
There it is.
So we just need to find the first name.
There are two pages.
Barbara Brooks.
And a reminder to the board members that the envelopes do need to be initialed and dated.
Wait a minute. We missed it.
and I would need out.
Just to extent they need to be dated.
No, this is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yep. Is there ID on the back?
Quick reminder, everybody, we are on open mic, so
No cussing.
no foul language,
Yeah.
no
Okay.
propagate or
What we're looking
promoting
for.
local businesses and whatnot.
Can I check this off or just leave it
Yes.
alone?
Yeah,
Uh,
just put a
in the
check.
in front,
In front
back?
of her name.
Okay,
And/or.
Like that?
That is correct.
It has to be
No
like-
names and CIVs.
Which is the most important.
Yeah.
Do you? I'm glad you feel that way. My boss frowns upon it.
The precinct, sure, the same.
that's the precinct, 45-1, okay,
Here's the CIV number.
760, okay.
We're still not getting primary. We're having trouble now checking primary, or second primary.
Does it bother me that I have two different exception forms?
It's always preferable.
Okay, here's the next one.
Okay, Doris Austin, she's
Yeah, I
right
would-
there.
Yeah, I would just not say her name,
Okay,
just make sure. it's-
okay,
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
Second primary.
okay.
Oh, maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
They did it.
We don't look for anything on the ballot. That's up to them.
She has to check one,
Uh-huh.
so she checked that one even though she didn't completely fill that one out.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Signature, two witnesses. We have an assistant.
Sign this.
Name, filled out, signature.
CIV number,
Okay.
precinct.
No. I'm one of the
Yep.
newbies.
I'll check her off.
Yeah, we're blocking them, and then that way we can improve those.
Okay, that person's right there.
Okay.
We'd have an assistant.
Yeah, the reason, like I said, the only reason we do that separately is because in our system, you have to, it's one extra step to say that the board has accepted that ID, because there are
Yeah.
reasons. Once I go in and click OK for the board meeting, it counts it just the same as it does if they put an ID in with it. It's just an extra step. Have to do.
Check the CIV precinct.
Okay,
That's funny.
Assistant.
It's the same with the light. You would think it would light up if it was on, and then, but it doesn't. That's true. This one does.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
okay.
It's all yours.
Let's see, how would do precincts here?
Turn
Okay.
Can't get them in order, just put them upside down.
Once the precinct changes, you have to alternate. She's got to put them in.
But I didn't get to where I am by
We'll
not
have,
being
a lot of
obsessive
these will be the
compulsive.
same, because they have people that help them, and nothing works.
Lawyers and airline. Lawyers and airline pilots.
Tell me when the precinct.
Okay.
Am I initialing these?
No, you just, I just, I was on drugs. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I was like, I'm not gonna
Okay. Just for a minute. No, I am. I know. I am on mine. It was just
Turn that on.
It was just for before you finished drugs. Okay, here you go. That's the right one.
Yeah. That one's pushing it, isn't it? But the
Okay.
signature
Glitter.
probably didn't sign it because I happen to, this is someone that I work with and I know she's pretty careful.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
Okay.
We're still not getting the second primary mark. I mean, it's just on all of them.
All right, what do you think of that?
I mean, if we get where we need to do it, we can reach back out to them and go back out. and
Okay,
go
there
away.
might be one this time. We've got a lot on the primary ballot.
No, if it is Matt, we've got the manpower, we can send him back out again.
Okay.
People power.
Okay.
It's a tiny little checkbox.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
but I'll mention it to him.
Yeah.
Dress, what do you think of that? Dress, what do you think of that?
Okay.
Some fun?
Good.
Good. Yes. Helps to divide and conquer, get us through.
Okay.
Well, when it comes to the general.
That's all.
Okay.
Maybe in the meantime, I'll practice with the auto slicer.
This is the last one in this precinct.
Yeah.
I'm scared of it, I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared of it.
That's it.
The thing that's got me concerned is the plastic sleeve though. Will that- I don't know.
Okay.
Yes. That's a,
Still on 45.1.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's all.
Got a ways. Okay.
yes, I had a college roommate.
Did you, was there a quantity that started to like bind up, if you remember, or?
You thought that they, museum people, might very well have it. That's one of those old English families, they're all
Yeah.
dirt.
Yeah.
That's the last one.
Okay.
I mean, before you tell me, yeah, I think so. It is the last four, which is nice.
Okay. Okay.
System 85, 45.1.
Yeah.
That's good at correcting social, that's good for education.
Did you want to check the exception?
Only two in that precinct.
Oh, you did. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, we looked at it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Right here. Okay.
Doesn't need this one, it just has to have
Yeah.
these two.
Okay.
This just means they have an assistant. It has to have either two witnesses or, no, that's a have to.
Okay.
This one does everything, just like this. Justin. Missing a name. Does have plenty of information, but, and it's. Think that'll be okay?
If the signature is clear enough.
Yeah.
It's clear enough.
Okay, as long as you can recognize it.
Okay.
Do we need to write it up there or no?
It's up to the board member to approve it. It has to be, it would have to be unanimous. Kick it.
Yeah, it's perfectly clear. If it was unclear, I would. This goes the other one. That's the only one in that one.
That's the only one.
Okay.
Oh, they got the
Okay.
picture.
Yes.
Once they get it,
It's a different,
Yep,
Matthew.
good. Good.
Somebody else's writing, but they got it. Signatures clear enough to read.
Okay.
So there's the other one. Right?
Yeah.
Barrier buyers.
Okay, it looks a little different than the, I don't think it's close enough.
Yeah.
You see her?
I think it's all
Yes.
right.
Those are the only two in this one.
Okay.
We got all of them. There he is.
Yes.
There's one in this one.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Good, good, good. Not sure. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll sign.
There's nothing checked.
open them up.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. They don't need to check this up here.
If they don't, and as long as they check one of these.
It's okay.
Says it's okay.
Okay.
Justin,
Good?
there's several different persons in there. I have signed this one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And which way?
Wasn't sure.
You had to go back and look at it. It helped.
Well, the envelopes didn't. See, they're gonna take the house back and scan them. They have to be scanned into this. Turn the envelopes.
Still all in the same precinct?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how they were filed.
The
Okay.
prophecy.
Yeah.
You guys good?
Sign that.
Awesome.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay.
Never know. Mine is robo part. That was really hard.
If you'll sign that one as well. Trading. Did you?
It wouldn't be the
So
first
you'll need to
person
sign that one too.
Okay.
Let's see. Everybody on this side.
Okay.
No, she needs to sign this one. sign that one? Or that is you? Is that sign?
No,
No,
that's Mary.
that's you.
That's Mary.
No, oh, that's you. Let's see.
Distinctive scroll.
And then also this one.
Okay.
No, see, it's not. You gotta get Mary Ann.
Ah,
now.
yeah.
Very confusing.
You can go ahead and jump on that if you want.
Thinking of his too, like,
Yeah.
Well, I guess Steve. And, oh, and Glenn. He's busy. He's busy.
Yeah, this is just related to John.
Yeah.
It's basically clear to.
No, those are fine.
Technically, it should take it.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you much.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, sorry. What do I do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll pass it down.
okay.
Y'all are busy. Y'all keep working on that one. All right. Which one are?
But you got the right month, that's real good.
Okay.
Oh, there's.
And days.
There you go. There you go.
That's kind of a random error.
Oh yeah. Wait on him first. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Yep.
It's all on, isn't it?
45.1.
I just let him. We don't need it in quadruplicate, so he just needs to sign.
Okay.
that there.
Let me just make sure I signed all these.
Okay. I'll set this over here for now. That's just a spare. Since there was 14 units. Yours did? Oh. So let's see. She's worried that she didn't sign hers. I guess she didn't. Yeah. It'd be these, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. Look at you. Easy breezy. Lemon squeezy. What? Easy breezy lemon squeezy. You never heard that one before?
No, I think that came from, I think
That's not mine. I heard Michael Caine say it once on a, I think he was. Yeah. Okay, there's balances. All right. Copy for you. Here are those. And when she's done, we'll let you make the motion. Now, if y'all thought that was fun, how about 3 times as many? No? No? 150 or 149?
Here's the good news. Yeah, there might be 3 times as many, but there are no exceptions.
There are no exceptions.
So that was smoother.
No, you guys powered through them last week. So.
Mr. Tate, I appreciate how you front-load the trickier ones. Lots
Okay.
of strategy.
You'd like to get him tonight, too.
Well, I don't want anybody's blood sugar getting low over the course of the meeting and then going downhill. Keep it simple.
Mr. Tate, we did just review 58 of these with ID exceptions pending. Did we have issues with any of the 15?
There was just one that was a signature.
But
They all checked out. No, we've been very fortunate. Like I said, a total now have only been 10 pending, so everything's usually getting rectified. So we're good. If you
All
want.
right, colleagues, we've just had an opportunity to review 58 absentee by mail ballots that had ID exceptions pending. I would entertain a motion to approve the 58 that we just reviewed.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. There's a motion before the board to approve the 58 absentee by mail ballots that had ID exceptions pending. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. All right, up next, regular absentee ballots. There you go. Knock yourself out. No.
Looks like 2020.
There you are.
These have actual IDs.
Yep.
Oh.
There you are. Huh?
I have another pen.
Absolutely.
Let's see. It's gonna be not
Pass these out real
10.1.
quick and I'll come right back.
See, that's, usually I have my pen right here, that's why I
Yeah,
didn't sign
that's-
in.
I'm going to do this single-handed. Single-handed so I don't
This
drop.
last name should be on the second page there.
Okay, this time it's very tight.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
Same as before. Pull them out, down, and away you go.
Check our name, or do you do it after we?
No, see, this is
I do it when we're done.
Okay,
And
fair
this
enough.
is just regular ballots that people
Okay.
send. This is their two races, and you look for their ID. What you're looking for is,
Do you want to change
when
the
this
direction again
expires,
for the precincts?
is it over 65 it can be expired?
Justin,
And
Yes, sir.
You probably know that from the map.
there's a numbered memo on this. She didn't put down Asheville, but since we know what the zip code is, I mean, it's in Asheville, I think that's okay.
Yeah, I would accept. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad that we all know the zip codes
They
as well
talked
as we
about
do,
those
but
various things that happened in memos that come up from the state board. And one of the things is if the witness just puts down, for example, the zip code, but puts down the street, we know what the zip code is,
It's okay.
it's okay, we
Yeah.
can assume it's Asheville.
Okay. And they did it themselves. They didn't need an assistant.
No, there was
So,
no assistant.
okay.
Are we checking precincts?
They should be organized. You want to check the CIDs.
Yeah.
But you don't care if we
Okay.
put these in order for precincts?
No, CID
We'll just leave
doesn't
it in order.
match.
You don't need them.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
It's all good, yeah.
It's gonna be 1 to 2%.
Okay. Third one, okay.
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 Board review 2-6.
What's that mean?
Oh, I see what.
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, sorry.
Justin. Justin.
Yes.
Okay, what he's talking about.
Just one minute.
Go ahead and.
these are ones from last week's. That was
Okay.
Brother Tate.
That we,
This is our precinct.
we've already,
That should be 2
You want to check it or?
for that precinct.
yeah, let me,
I just hadn't seen what,
It was.
Justin.
It looked,
Oh, whereas it's on the backside instead of being reversed. We're good.
Hey, Justin, remind me again what happened with this one.
Oh, these were just the ones that were open last week.
That were opened,
Yeah, these are the ones that you reviewed, just like we did at the beginning of this meeting.
Right.
That's what these are. That's why they're
oh, these
tagged.
are the
They're
ones.
good. You've all accepted them.
And they were put back in the envelope to open this week. Okay, thanks.
Now, remember, that's a new step that the state's approved, so.
I forgot.
And this is what
yes.
Okay.
we have two of
And
those.
the next one's right under this one, so.
So her ID's
So
good.
this
Yeah,
one is
okay.
Judy Ann Jones.
Latest copy, but it's.
Oh, interesting.
Something a little different.
Some expiration date there.
Let's see, this one you can go off the issue date.
So where's her ballot?
It's right there.
Okay.
It's 23. So, yeah, they've got something here.
That's unfortunate, sometimes these copies are not great.
Okay.
Depends on what kind of copy you get.
Yes.
No, it was great, that's the first one.
Got the name,
Yeah.
a picture on it.
Okay, same
Okay.
name.
Yeah, but you need to correct it in there. Second two on or?
Yeah, those are the only two. And this next one is by itself. Gordon and Donna Road Gordon.
Okay. Okay.
Looks like two on.
Looks like she's got a good driver's license.
Yeah, it is a copy.
Let's see, is that 31? 31 district.
Okay.
Yeah, James is the last name.
That's the only one of
That's the
those.
only one in that one.
Okay.
Yes, 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 yes.
Linda K. Darby.
Signature, this one has no, but just needs signature.
Nine. Okay.
Picture.
Lisa Ann.
We call this, so I can check that one.
It's all right for the witness and that person to be the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the only one in this one?
Yep. Karen Tracy.
Yes, and if you're in a district, different
Okay.
district, I need to separate them.
Current driver's license, the name matches, we don't look at the address because they,
It could change, yeah.
I think the last one was, yeah, I think the last one was around 2. That's a 31. Oh, it was 31, okay.
Okay.
That's the only one in this one.
No, one's in the other.
This is the first one.
This is Regina Catherine Tracy.
We had a switch, so we just need to mark it again.
Yeah, the CIB.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Good.
That's right.
okay.
Yeah.
Is the
Okay.
And matches, it's current.
Okay.
Okay. Looks good.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Expires November 2024. You okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Now, this one is a different district. She's 33.
33. So glad you noticed that.
We're still in that 10.1.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So I need the same thing. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Same name.
The only one in that one is not
License.
Mm-hmm.
Different district
Okay.
here with 35. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's just a notary.
Yeah.
We need to have them start checking out. Just a few.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is the last one in this district.
Okay.
This is the only one in that one?
No, there were two of them. This is the second one.
Okay. Okay.
License.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the only one in that one. And this is the first one, right?
Okay, that's everyone in that district.
Okay, so we're on to another.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
An assistant on this one.
No, I knew them now. Oh, that was 38.3.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, right here. So that, the one before was 38.2.
And this is 38.
3, so we don't put those together, we have to go another way. There's
Okay.
just one 38.3. Okay.
We're going to anyway, like these signatures.
Yeah, they're good.
You like me trying to open a ballot?
You don't care if the zip code's not complete.
Good.
Well, we put AVL.
Yeah.
What I was wondering about, they're supposed to print their name, but I could break that out, Hattinger.
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
It's okay.
Current
Okay.
license.
third, number 3, and then we go through a long list of issues.
Very good.
Nancy.
Another here.
Okay.
Okay.
924, but it's still very interesting.
Just the right side.
No, there's.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're still on 39.
Looks like a valid note of public.
Good?
You're happy with that?
Several.
Yes.
Current driver's
We
license.
got a bunch of them in this precinct.
Okay.
And we got another one, that one also.
Now we're at 39.3.
Okay.
Still got time.
Still 22.2.
Yeah. Got 2 more in that district.
Yes, yes.
Precinct is in 10.2. This is
Yes.
Okay.
Current driver's
They're
license.
not afraid, so
Okay.
we'll be posted.
Good.
If you want, I can look at this one. Look at the small thing.
I'm out.
Next one is Kathy Dorgan.
Okay.
Yes.
Good, good.
Oh,
Good.
Oh, no.
That's 23. Well, she's over 65.
Okay.
Oh, right.
She's 26. She's got that covered.
Current driver's
Uh-huh.
license.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Okay,
So
that's it.
22.2.
Yep.
Marie.
Coverage 23.2.
Yes.
Yes.
Check the precinct.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Current driver's license.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But these come from individuals, so you can't do anything about that.
You can go vote in person.
This is the first 23.2.
Right, there's 3 of those. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is,
Is that a military? Yeah.
Yeah. Justin.
Yes. So you're in a new
I
district.
think I know the answer here, but I just wondered, for a military ID like this, it does not have to be an expiration.
No, not for military.
Okay. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Good.
These last two.
Howard. Yeah, it's typed, yeah.
Sound be tearing your ballot. Oh, it almost was. Woo. Okay, here we go. Oh, that ballot.
Yes.
Okay.
Still on 23.
Yeah, that's the last one. Oh, hang on, sorry. 23.2, that was the last 23.2.
Carl, this person?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, but
Yeah, like all, yeah, all of ours are.
just wait.
Okay. Okay.
Current driver's license.
That's the only one in that precinct.
23.3.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
So we're on the 25.1.
Yeah, and there's only one of those.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh, he's notary till 26, that's all he's telling me.
Current driver's
Okay.
license.
Yeah, but she's still got time.
Okay.
The structure.
Is that only one?
That's the only one, yeah. And the next one, it's just the only one.
Yes. Just making sure I had the right, that was the one we just did.
Expires
No,
27.
You got it. It's a new district.
Current driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay. Okay, there's a bunch of this precinct.
29.2.
Yeah.
Still got the name in there.
Okay.
Fill that back in.
Current driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She's on.
Okay.
Thank you. as many passports, but a few.
I went to the Rose Bowl flea market
I imagine.
In Pasadena?
Yeah.
Current driver's license.
People come from Japan to buy
Okay.
American
yes.
there's all this cloth and things that you wouldn't see at our flea markets because stuff rots. Well, that's what happened.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yep. This is in, yes.
Okay, so this must have been
Yeah.
a cure.
Yeah, I'm good.
Abstain is missing your signature.
She's on Twitter.
So they sent this out to him.
And it came back and he signed it. Okay.
Youngsters.
802.
His name's Alexander.
Oh, Justin. This is kind of odd. Just wanted to, he's got a current driver's license, but somebody else signed the,
Yes.
Different signature.
I guess his wife, maybe.
How do you know?
It has a
Huh?
picture.
How do you know? Or what were you comparing it to?
Well, it was sent to this gentleman. Here's his ID.
It had to have a passport.
Maybe that's why they sent it back to him.
Yeah.
I went to Canada.
Probably. There was,
Oh, yeah, that is that one. And so, yeah, he had to.
So this makes up for that.
That does.
Okay.
Sorry, it took me a second to remember that one.
yeah, so it's a current driver's license.
Yes.
Yeah.
Name
Yeah.
matches.
That's passing. Yeah, here I say we don't get many, and that's all we get now.
It's just, these are all, yes.
No, these are too.
Same person?
Yeah. All the rest of ours is the same person. If you want to take it,
No,
we
it's
don't
a
care, but this,
Oh.
This is a switch.
Do they have the same
the
address?
rest of these are the same.
Isn't that an interesting?
No, I mean, these are all the same as those.
What they do sometimes, if it's sent to the
Since
same
it's-
household,
Uh-huh.
Brother Tate.
they,
No, okay, she got punched down.
see, he signed it.
He signed hers and she signed his.
Yeah, so they sent this out to him to
Oh.
correct the signature. There's, from the
Just to make it
state
lighter.
board, and we passed a resolution saying if there's a switch like that, then, and it's apparent there is a switch, then that's okay.
Okay. As long as they filled that out, that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Almost every one since I said that. Yeah.
So I'm here, it's
Current driver's license.
different voter IDs on, I mean, we got enough to distinguish these two.
Susan White
Consider
Holmes.
Francis.
See what happens.
This issue here
Then
is.
over here, she signed his, he signed hers. Okay.
They switched. Yeah, that's fine because they filled that out, so.
But you got to vote.
So
What do you want me to do with these while you're doing that? Put them off.
let's open those up and see if the CIV.
Okay.
Yeah, 48-1.
Yeah.
Keep track of them.
Okay, here we go again. Throw this away.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Here's 414,
Uh-huh.
and here's 413.
413. So that's okay?
That's okay.
Okay, all right.
Now, see, here's what we're
So they were looking at each other, who knows what they were doing.
And they all live in the same house.
I know, yeah, if you're in the same households.
and Francis.
That looks good. Got the
Jeans are probably really close.
I bet they're watching in the same machine.
Uh-huh.
They're watching in the same machine. Okay. Let's try this.
Okay.
Get to that.
Yeah, that one's good.
Get to that.
And this is a new precinct.
Yeah, we're gonna get that one.
Okay, we're in the same precinct still.
It's hard to do when they send them in themselves, so.
Out.
Okay.
They're looking for the photo. It's gotta be a photo ID, so we can put a photo. So
Driver's license, the name matches.
That's
Okay.
good.
there we go.
They got two. Okay. All right, we'll do that way, see what we get. Okay, I'm gonna go back to, let's go back to, 48.
Okay.
What, 23rd?
Okay.
We had other
How many years did you say Justin?
And I think these are
7 or 8
48
years?
one. Yeah.
7 or 8 years
I'm
they
gonna
get
set
from.
this one up for years, and we'll put it back on top.
It's plenty, but
Richard's wife.
Probably that's why they both did it the same way.
5 times and decided that we've already decided what.
we're getting all those pictures, and a lot of IDs that have the dates cut off.
Dorothy Louise.
Current driver's license.
I thought it was 8 years.
Okay.
Well, I just got mine renewed.
Okay.
They did one more call miracle right here.
I'm telling you.
Okay, here's another 48 one. It's in that same group. This is Francis. This is the one that tripped us up.
Okay.
Yes, yes, because you had.
Francis Sheila,
Okay.
current driver's license.
Okay, it's fine.
This whole house full of them.
Okay.
He's already thought of it. Michelle, whoever wrote this, wrote that. This is the original side. That makes it okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good, good.
That usually makes the life go that.
There's the last one. Yeah.
Yes.
And they kept them straight.
They did very good.
Impressed.
Passport, current passport,
Yeah.
But they mixed
Okay.
this up.
name matches.
Yeah.
Now we're back in 50.
Okay,
And I think we looked at this on the east side. and we liked it.
right, right. And he took all my pictures.
Like that. There's no ballot.
Okay.
Okay, make sure we didn't already do it. Look, you're looking for a CIV.
Some off of our stack.
Oh, we did?
I did,
You did?
underneath. Those are
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
Okay.
Alternate again.
Justin,
All right.
Okay.
Okay, this is another.
Driver's license, current.
Okay.
Good.
ask Corinne.
Okay.
two.
I got two, three more.
Anybody use those things, you know, and if they're not sharp, it's a real pain. I've had some that are old, you're constantly fighting against them like that. They
Okay.
just got some new ones, I think, so they're really good to show.
Spurs, Andrew, okay.
They're not see like that one, the tip on that one's broken. This is how thick it is, and it's hard to get in there. Except for that is-
John, what you think? Sally hadn't signed any of those. Anybody else?
Okay.
These are all, let's see. We're on the home stretch.
No. It just
Yeah.
depends on what you got to look at. Just as soon as I said we were going to get a passport picture, it's like the next
Correct.
5
Okay,
or 6
yeah.
weeks were all passport pictures.
Okay.
It can be rather expensive when you're just watching. No, we tested for something. And as to what they did to choose which one, it's like they're all ready. That one.
Now we're on to, still at 29.2.
One more, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
No, that's the plastic scanner. It's used here to scan stacks of ballots.
Okay. Okay, new precinct.
Oh, yeah, that's because they scan so fast.
Okay.
I don't even remember, it was, well, see, we bought more than one, so, I still remember.
It was just the one. There were two single ones there.
Current driver's license.
Hard to what?
Okay.
That's the last 29.2.
No.
This is the first 30 point.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
No, I don't care about the sugar, it's just gotta be dark chocolate. Yeah, is it dark chocolate?
Same precinct.
Yes. And that's there's only two in this precinct, so that's the last one in this precinct.
The last one was 30.2. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
Okay.
can pass it around, 'cause I don't think Glenn's ready for it yet.
Good candy when you fit.
Oh, dark chocolate's caramel, chocolate caramel.
Current
Okay.
driver's license.
Oh, that's right. Get it when you fit. Get it when you fit. No more. Finish your lecture. Do it.
Pavlov
Okay.
elected.
Come on. Markings on some of these things we think you help.
Okay, new precinct.
Okay.
Okay. expired. She's over 65.
Yeah, was it issued 65 when it was issued?
I only let myself have July twice. I was like,
Oh, here, oh, no. Oh, that's her date of birth.
Oh, yeah. So,
So that is 3 years.
What you looking for?
oh, I'm just looking up, let me just look at this.
I think that's relative. The only place I've been
All right, on the 65th birthday. That's her 65th birthday.
there's a big escalator that goes all the way up top of there. But we could be in Aletta, there's 3 public escalators in that way.
I did my job.
And they were pretty long. When they get you the upper part of the city of Converge.
All right, I need to
They are in the city, in the old fortification.
yes, I did know that.
Thank you.
It's me.
And they've got and they've also got these. It's a cable car, but it's not in the street like it's
Some villages that had connectors,
Oh, yeah.
you know, that one I was like, man, that's.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
She's caught on.
Where are these going to go to, after I go off?
Oh, Justin,
Yes.
help me work through this. We got a driver's license. The woman was born February 25th, 1929. It expired on February 25th, 2021.
But she's over 65.
She's over 65.
That's the exception.
Yeah, let me just, an expired form of identification allowing the
No, she's okay.
at the time of presentation, provided that the identification was unexpired on her 65th birthday.
She's definitely, she qualifies.
Unexpired on the 65th. Well, when she turned, when was it issued? It was issued on 2016.
Yeah, but if she was born in 29, that means she's well over 65.
Yeah, so,
She's almost 100.
yeah. Okay,
She gets a pass. She gets a pass.
okay.
But it's on
The insert.
the insert, the ID insert.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's okay. That's a clear ID for me.
Yeah, it is.
So there's.
Okay, that's good. $396. Okay. The rest should all be in the same precinct.
Okay.
But other than that, yes.
Okay.
The first right.
Okay.
The most states use the same system.
That's good. That way we can communicate. County has a wall across the state, but didn't use it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, in other counties, board does things.
Well,
In our county, board does that.
Yeah,
In other
we
counties,
did a lot of
board
biking
delegate
in
to
that.
France. It's just like that. And is that the only other county?
That's good.
From Normandy. Oh, yeah.
2030.
Oh, okay. Okay,
And matches, yeah.
okay.
In some jurisdictions, it's probably inside the checkbook.
Oh, yes, it did.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Yeah, so Bill. Should have one more, shouldn't it?
Okay.
You know what we need, we need,
Okay.
what is the date? That would be, if you're 65. It's on the show.
Okay.
Well, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Or you must be working, doing some other work here at the office.
On the MAT team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hope our assistants are Matt teams too.
I'm gonna get a drink of water.
Sure.
Do you need anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Because the Germans are trying to get through our city.
And we just happen to be in the way.
Because we made
Don't wait until we approve these.
Okay, thanks.
showing most of the curious.
Interesting. Right. I haven't had a cubby for a long time. Should be one I haven't done.
I'm guessing I might have to sign one. It's the last one.
Oh, yeah,
That was-
some of that.
good, thanks.
I think I have one that's like,
They're all delicious.
I better try one. Yeah, thank you.
That's the most elaborate. And I understand it's not using
So is this what you do here during the elections season? How often do you get together?
Once a week during early morning.
All right, colleagues, we have just reviewed 149 absentee by mail ballots that were recommended for approval by staff. I would entertain a motion to approve those 149 absentee ballots. Thank you, Mr. Aceto. The motion before the board is to accept the 149 absentee by mail ballots for which that staff approved, that staff recommended for approval. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. And I believe that wraps. Oh, we've got, yeah. But in terms of reviewing the motions, thank you, Mr. Tate. All right, we will look at the tabulation reports, make sure that they're in there with the thumb drive. We will put the ballots in sealed envelopes. We will sign them all and then proceed to the next agenda item. You know what? You might want to finish off those updates. It's a good opportunity to do this. Now that you got them out, so. Sorry.
what's our change?
Adjustment. You need another one of these signed.
That's,
Okay.
Number 4 of.
he needs triplicate, so. That's the one I thought. I thought there was one I hadn't signed.
All right, Director Duncan.
There were two things in the office updates that I had forgotten to mention, and there was more about operations. So first, the training for Election Day, all of early voting training's done. We've started Election Day training, and that's going to go through March 1st. So we're doing that almost every day, including weekends. And this last Saturday, most of the office was working, so we're definitely in our overtime phase now.
Thank you. Very, very busy time. I hope somebody got some time off on Sunday. Good. All right. The next item on the agenda is the updated resolution for counting absentee ballots. We did approve a resolution for counting absentee ballots last month. Seems like it's time to do it again. Ms. Moore.
Hello. So with the new session law that affected the way that we did the resolution, and we found out with Kareem visiting the conference and just from information from the state that I read it wrong when we were going through it. So it looks like we look at the second whereas, this is what I just handed out. It talks about the paper ballots being counted manually. So it's if we count them manually, then we can start counting at 2 p.m. So we've updated the resolution to reflect that. We did leave in if there are early voting ballots to be counted manually, that we can start those at 2. but we fully expect to count those, electronic, like using the,
The tabulator.
yeah, the high-speed scanner, starting at 7, after 7:30, once the polls close, once we're allowed to. So that is what this is updating. It's making it clear that if it's counted manually, giving us the ability to do that if for some reason we need to count manually, but with the expectation that we will count them with the high-speed scanner at closeout. It also, you'll see bullet point number 3, this resolution would repeal the last resolution that y'all did, because
Can I ask some questions about
Yes,
this?
Mr. Schultz.
And I just wanted to go through the statute to make sure I understand how this works. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yes, definitely, yep, we should definitely do that, but I wanted, AK seemed to take responsibility, but we all looked at that resolution and read it. I think that the law, because electronic voting was allowed in the past and it's not allowed anymore, the way that it is written, I think we'll probably go over that now, it is confusing. But it was clarified by the state at the conference, and I just want to be really clear what this means is that we have to start counting early voting, those 11 locations, at 7:30. So it's going to take time. We're not going to be able to post the results. We can post absentee by mail at 7:30, but we're going to have to close polls, do all of the abstract and everything after 7:30. And the state board also is planning on putting out a numbered memo on this too, because at the conference.
The statute to make sure I understood what's going on here. There was a change to 163-182.2 subsection A. And it adds a second sentence that says, if ballots cast under Part 5 of Article 14A of this chapter, which is early voting ballots, are counted electronically, that count shall commence at the time the polls close. Do we count ballots electronically or manually?
Electronically.
Electronically. Then it goes on to say, if the ballots cast under Part 5 of Article 14A of this chapter, which are early voting ballots, are paper ballots counted manually, that count shall commence at the same time as mail-in absentee ballots cast under Article 20, which refers to UOCAVA. No, wait a minute.
You're correct, both UOCAVA and.
UOCAVA and military. At the same time that ballots cast under Article 20 or Article 21A of this chapter are counted, those can be counted between 9 and 5 on Election Day, right?
That's correct, but we don't have.
We don't do that.
That we count manually. It would be a disaster if we had to count absentee ballot or early voting ballots manually. But it's good to leave it in there just to have that flexibility, but.
So that was a change that was wrought by Session Bill 2023-140.
Yes, 747.
Right.
Is that
Right,
for
Senate
votes?
Bill
Yeah.
7. And then you go over to Section 163-234. That talks about counting absentee ballots, only absentee by mail ballots, issued under Article 21A between 9 and 5. That would refer to the UOCAVA and military. And then it may begin counting all absentee ballots. That's excluding early voting ballots.
Yes, because 747 changed early voting from an form of absentee voting to a form of in-person voting.
We can count between the hours of 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. upon the adoption of a resolution in at least 2 weeks. So that's how you look at the statute to get at the new resolution. Is that right?
That is correct,
Okay.
yes. And I think the confusing piece that they put in there was, they should have stopped at, counting electronically versus counting manually. In the manual section, they decided to write paper ballots counted manually, so that confused people. Because we all use paper ballots. And like I said before, there was they you used to have electronic voting, but this is talking about counting.
So, with the ballots we use now, with the new machines, those are considered paper ballots?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the correct statutory analysis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Director Duncan, talk to me about, how, again, tell me approximately how many early votes we're looking at in this county.
In 2020 primary, which I think that will be similar to, we had 183,000 votes total. Early voting was 38,000 of that in 2020. We keep shifting more towards early voting, so I think that we'll probably have a little bit more than that, so maybe around 40,000 early voters.
So,
primary.
in the last one, it was about 20% of the votes were early.
No.
Is that right?
We have a higher percentage of our, the single greatest mode of, a single most frequently used mode of voting in Buncombe County is early voting in person.
Which election?
The one you were just talking about, the 183 and the,
2020 primary, we had almost 46% was early voting.
oh, okay.
52% was election day.
All
And
right.
absentee by mail was only 2%.
Okay, so that means, as far as the public goes, that we will not see the full results as early as we've been used to seeing. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. So how it will have to work is we can post the absentee by mail results, which is going to be a pretty small number. As you can see, we have almost 2,000 requests. Not all of those come back. It's about 65% return rate. So we'll be able to post those. Then we have to, if you recall, we have to do the abstract for absentee with early voting.
Mhm.
The law didn't change that. So
Okay.
that means we have to process early voting and do that abstract before we can start on the election day precincts.
So those two will have to be done right after 7:30.
We can do
With the process.
absentee at 2 o'clock,
Right.
absentee by mail at 2 o'clock, and we can upload those right away at
Okay.
7:30. So
All right.
that'll be ready.
But the
then-
46% or whatever that number is will be postponed. Do we have any sense of how long that might take?
I did chat with the tech team about this. They thought 30 minutes. I
Okay.
think that's optimistic.
I think so too.
So I think
An hour?
And what we're thinking is that we could bring in, usually we have only 3 maybe DS200s that we bring in to close the polls,
Mhm.
because we have the time starting at 2 o'clock to do it.
Mhm.
We're thinking maybe bring in 11 of them, and then the board members can close the polls.
Mhm.
Because it takes about 15 minutes to print off each of those tapes.
Mhm.
And then we could try to do
That's
it as
true.
quickly as we can. But with this many early voting sites, Buncombe's used to being one of the first to post. And so we definitely won't be the first, because we'll have some processing time. And then the election day, we'll wait a little bit on that, but it usually takes time to get those flash drives to come in. So I think that the notice, the impact to the public and people who are watching won't be as big for the election day ones. But we will definitely notice that early voting's not
Tell me why
posted.
again that the election day wouldn't be?
We have to do early voting first.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So whenever we finish that,
Okay.
it just has to happen in that order.
And then we will go to the warehouse.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It is
the-
going to be Wednesday when we are done election night.
Okay.
It's true. I
Can
mean,
I
I
wear
don't
my
know if it's
PJs?
true if it'll be Wednesday, but it will postpone, we're a big group here that they need hands over at the warehouse.
Sure.
So the more we delay over here, the slower it's going to happen over there too. So
Have you notified your news outlets
I am definitely going to. I was hoping to get that numbered memo from the state board
Oh, that makes
first.
sense.
Yeah,
But I thought if you notify them, then when they talk about the election, they can let people know it's gonna
thank
take
you.
a little longer.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're definitely watching too, so
Yeah.
we don't need to
Yeah, they wanna
surprise the
report it
media
right away, so.
unnecessarily. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the optics could be
Mhm.
funky if we don't have the public understanding what's going on, so. Okay.
The value of a primary is that people will learn in March what to expect in November. Seriously. People are going to be real anxious to see results in November, and they'll understand the new methodology will delay that. So, a resolution to reflect the changes in the law with respect to the early voting. Anyone have any questions or comments about this thing? I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 2024-03. If someone was so inclined. Thank you, Ms. Brain. Motion before the board is to approve resolution number 2024-03, a resolution for setting time and place for the purpose of counting absentee and applicable early voting ballots for the March 5th, 2024 primary election. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. We are up to date on that. The next agenda item is a discussion on early voting election official vacancies. And why don't I kick off this one? Oh, okay, good. Time out while we get some signatures and we dot the i's and cross the t's on our absentee by mail process.
Started with a 0 tape, and we did match our numbers. So we worked out.
Love it when we match our
I
numbers.
think, well, this one contains the jump drive, so if you'll all just sign where your name is.
You see the 0? Yeah, it's nice. 213, yeah, okay.
It's sort of necessary.
Sort of.
13.
Okay. That's the red one we had.
Regional absentees were duplicated.
Oh, yeah, different, okay. You not gonna count today?
No, not today.
Me either. Here's 13.
What's in the red bag or the pink one?
Those are the originals for the ID. These are the scanned items here.
Okay.
And then that's just the jump drive.
Ms. Duncan, while we're in finishing this, you were talking earlier about the emergency planning meeting that happened last week, I believe. And you made a comment that you can't share the details. Is that because it's just safer to have that plan held? All right, rather than let the public know what the details are of that plan?
Correct. Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to grab. any of these? Good. Could you please distribute those? I'll be right back.
They're getting on there.
Oh, the one about appointing election officials. I don't think I have it there.
You want the memo or the statute?
No, I've got the statute. I just want to look at the memo, but I don't have that. You do. Thanks.
Page, well, you told me it was on page 5. Page 5 is this one, but this is, the next paragraph is what I was looking at. What is this? I don't know. Is this for all of us?
That was about the resolution that you just passed.
Is this for a copy or?
Yeah, just if you wanted to look at it.
With the rest of the stuff.
It's like one of the ones that's referenced, the second whereas references in that resolution.
That's good.
All right, colleagues, you may recall that earlier we approved a roster of early voting officials for each of the 11 early voting sites for the primary. Under recently passed laws, we made those appointments where in the past staff had staffed the early voting sites. The same law confers on the chair and on the board the authority to fill vacancies that occur. And they do, and they have. And I know that at least one of those vacancies has already been filled. We handed out a delegation of authority letter that I completed recently and gave to Director Duncan. And I also mentioned that the authority to fill vacancies among election judges could be subdelegated to the recruiting and outreach coordinator, who is Karen Ray. The one thing that I really wanted to make sure we got in return was the feedback on how that authority had been used. We want to know, who filled the vacancy, whether it's the director or the coordinator, and we want to make sure that the rules that are outlined in the law are followed, so that if we had an early voting judge who was a Republican and that person dropped out, then staff would follow the new law and make every effort to fill that vacancy with another Republican. I delegated this authority to the director and the outreach and recruiting coordinator because it was expedient. I had the authority and decided to use it. But that only applies to election judges. It does not apply to election assistants. And the law is clear about that. And in fact, numbered memo 2023-07 does treat the two vacancies differently. There's a discussion of vacancy in the position of chief judge or judge, and then another discussion regarding vacancy in the position of assistant. So I know that the judge positions will be filled, but I want to make sure that our board addresses filling the vacancies on assistants so that we can make sure that each of the 11 early voting sites is fully staffed for this primary. Questions, comments, any preference on how you would like to proceed with respect to filling these vacancies for election assistants? I have a great deal of faith in staff's ability to fill these vacancies. And just so you know, by way of background, historically, that is what we have done. I have delegated my authority to fill vacancies to staff, but I will tell you that in the past, I have done it verbally. And after reading the numbered memo, I am now going to do it in writing for the sake of complete files and so that those who might follow will not have any difficulty understanding what we did. So I wanted to share that, that delegation of authority with you so that, A, you'd know what I was up to, B, that you would be confident that you would learn how staff had used that authority, and C, thinking that it might form a reasonable basis for the resolution for filling election assistant vacancies. But
Could I ask some questions?
please, Mr. Schultz.
I think this came up at a previous meeting, but in terms of number memo 2023-07, and I guess this is as much a question for you as Corinne. What this process you're talking about is on page 5, halfway down the page where it says the chair may delegate the appointment of replacement chief judges and judges to the county board staff. The delegation should be in writing and should designate the staff member or members with authority to make the appointments. The delegation could also be limited to certain time periods, such as during the early voting period. So that's what this
Right.
document is about.
I read that and I checked off each one of those things.
Okay. When Karen Ray was here, she handed out this document with the names. And in the meeting, I think she said the co-captains are really the chief judges and the workers are the assistant judges. And she did that because that's a terminology that had been used in the past, just for not to lead to any confusion. So all the people on this list are either chief judges or judges. None of these people are assistants.
There are, yes,
there
that's
are
correct. Yes, that they need to be able to fill. That's correct.
It's supposed to have workers on it also.
Yeah.
It has workers on it also.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Okay,
the
so the
workers-
workers are assistants.
Yeah.
I don't have that list. Thank
That's
you.
what was handed out to me.
Right, the list that we're passing around is the roster of early voting officials that this board has already approved.
Yeah, and that was before any changes.
Right.
But
So at early voting, you're going to have a chief judge.
They call them captains.
But in the law that was passed last year,
All right.
these officials are referred to as election judges. Chief judges and election judges.
But I see the wrinkle that you're pointing out. Because early voting happens over a long period of time and people might need to switch out, then they need to essentially be the party judges at different times. So we have the captain who functions, I wish Karen was here. She's doing training right now. The captain functions as the chief judge, but that was the thing. We needed all of the workers to be able to function as party judges in case they, had to work on that Sunday. Remember they do the partial shifts.
But
Thank you for reminding.
But on the,
us.
but the workers are what section 163-166.35A1 refers to as judges now.
I think the workers are what the law refers to as election assistants. And I think the captains are judges. And hearing Director,
Qualified.
I'm just,
Sorry.
Are some of them double qualified?
Yes. Yes.
Are all of
They're
them
both.
double qualified?
If I am remembering correctly, yes. The captains are chief judges.
Right.
And then the
Everyone else,
workers can
uh-huh.
function as a party judge or an assistant.
but they're, as identified on this document, they're judges. The workers are judges.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the universe of, this is
This
the,
is-
this is the universe of chief judges and judges for early voting when Karen made the presentation.
Yes, this was the complication of how do we do this with early voting when there are shifts, AM and PM, and people switch.
So,
Like on that Sunday is an excellent example.
so I just want to find out, and I don't know that it really makes a difference here, but I just want to find out the universe of the people we're talking about. These are all the chief judges and judges. These are not assistants.
they're all of the above.
Yeah,
they're qualified.
yes, and I had forgotten about this, how we had to do it this way.
They've
This
been
is something,
cross-trained.
yep,
But according
Yes.
to what we approved this list.
To be the chief judges and judges, with the understanding that sometimes the judge may have to fill in for a chief judge if they're qualified.
No, we're hearing that a
Sometimes-
worker has to fill in for a judge. And that is why, if I may, I would like to revisit this board's approval of that list because our definitions of terms are not clear. I must confess that when I reviewed that list, I saw captains and I read judges, and when I saw workers, I read assistants. And what I'm hearing from staff is something different. And I understand what staff is seeking here. Staff needs that flexibility to make sure that we're properly staffed at all 11 sites at all times. And so at our next meeting, I would like to basically rubber stamp a glossary of terms or something that goes with this roster that defines worker and defines captain in a manner that is consistent with North Carolina general statute. So that, again, so that everybody's clear.
For early voting only.
This is correct. Yeah, this is for early voting. This is, thank you, Sally. Let's keep the focus as narrow as possible. And we can hear from Karen Ray a fuller explanation of the captain versus worker thing.
There's one thing I just early vote, and I really don't pay much attention to who's there. But at most of the early voting sites, right now, Corinne, there would be assistants in addition to the people that the statute calls the chief judge and the judges.
correct, yep.
Okay.
So the idea is that from that list, there'll always be the chief judge that's identified, that's the captain, that's our additional definition stuff that we're doing to not confuse workers during this time, but makes it confusing for us. And then 2 of the workers will be the party judges, and everyone else will be assistants.
The assistants don't have to be divvied out by political party or.
Correct.
Okay.
But if they decide, if they need to be, assistant needs to be a judge, then we have to make sure that the party affiliation is correct.
Yes.
And Mr. Quinn.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rosito.
I may be getting out ahead of the skis here, but I just want to bookmark this. There is an election day precinct transfer assistant at this the law says the board must either designate a board employee or appoint other persons. So sounds like there's a resolution in there either to.
For election day.
Yeah.
But that's an election day issue.
It's basically an 81st polling place, and it's here at the office.
Yeah, it might be included in the delegations you did, but I will check.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much of this is overlapped with the delegations that we gave to you. to start
Exactly.
with.
But good question, we will check.
And also look for that overlap, because we may have covered all this.
Yeah.
Or we may need to revisit the delegation. I think if the intent
Gasp.
if the intent is to be specific about delegating, then we're back to that again.
I do want to, as you all are thinking about how you want to handle this, and thank you, Glenn. I had, not remembered that that's how we had to do it for early voting. So I'm very glad that you brought that up.
She talked about that, I'm sorry to interrupt, she talked about that at the meeting. I
Yep.
just had one other question, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but and I've just read this statute real quickly, and I think I've got the red book, so I think it's still the same, but.
We did print out the new ones just to be clear, yep.
But you're supposed to go to the party chairs and run it by them, basically, and see if
Yes.
they are okay with whoever.
And Karen does that, yes.
Okay.
Is this an appropriate time to ask some other questions?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay, I just make sure you're finished.
I just had one other question.
Okay, well, go for it.
So there's been some vacancies, has there?
Okay, that's what I was going to
I'm
say
sorry, okay,
next,
go ahead.
before we kind of get too much into this, because early voting starts on Thursday, so we have to make sure that we're prepared. So we did have one captain, which is a chief judge vacancy that Jake already talked about. And so we had a suggestion for filling that position.
Is that for Fairview?
9.1.
9.1 is Oakley. That's the precinct of the person who's recommended to fill the vacancy, but
Yeah, it was just Fairview.
but I don't know
Oh,
the voting
That's
location.
true. Sorry, I'm sorry, yeah. I don't know. I don't have that on this list. And then we had some backups that were on that list.
There's three.
I think there were 4 of them.
Yeah, it's just here.
There were 3.
Hand that to the director. That's the list.
That would be fantastic. But then we have a list of so we have backup assistants, and then we have substitute workers that go in and they just fill when someone has to be out for the day for a doctor's appointment or something like that. Those are the substitute workers. So we have a list of those that we would like to use, that we know we will need to use during this early voting period.
The one that's already occurred came from that substitute list?
It came from a co-captain, I believe. We had the co-captains.
Okay, so.
Remember that list had captain and co-captain?
Right.
I think that
So the
person was replaced by one of the co-captains.
Okay, that does sound right.
That's what I had marked on that one, because I had talked to Karen.
Ah, okay.
I had one other question too. Thinking about just tracking things, about whether it would be good. I don't know that we need to hear every one of the reasons why people back out or can't do it, but just to have some data at the end of the day about 20 people couldn't work and what the reasons were. It might help in our future recruiting just to know what that looks like, if it's mostly illness or people get trained and then they decide it's too much for them or whatever it might be. And you did say there's been one already, and according to this delegation, we will see each one of those that happen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see that one today. Okay.
So, as murky as the subject is, with respect to early voting election assistants versus workers, I think it still makes sense for our board to adopt a resolution addressing filling these vacancies. Even if it ends up that everybody on that list is viewed as a judge, at least we'll have things covered. My suggestion is to delegate this authority to staff, but I'd be very interested to hear other suggestions, if there are any.
Assuming we didn't already do that.
Yeah, from the delegation of duties. Yeah.
Well, we've delegated quite a bit to staff.
Yeah.
Or to Corinne, anyway. And I want to make that distinction. We don't delegate anything to staff. We delegate it to
Right.
Corinne.
And as you'll see in the delegation of authority letter that was distributed that I signed.
Otherwise, we risk getting tangled up in what Corinne is trying to do. And the statute says we delegate to Corinne. We don't
Yeah,
have
but
to
the-
go below that.
When the numbered memo said the delegation should be in writing and should designate the staff member or members with authority, I thought it might not be a bad idea to include the recruiting and outreach coordinator in there, seeing as she is the one with such strong relations with the two party chairs and on whose gut offices we will rely completely.
Yeah, Mr. Quinn, it does, there is the distinction of the statute between the assistants and the judge and the party judges. And in one case, the statute appears to give the chair the discretion to delegate to the director. And then in other cases of assistance, it's not nearly so specific, and it doesn't mention the chair, and it says
True.
staff.
True.
So, now you've made a written delegation of authority. Don't know if it can be any more clear. It includes, my opinion, it goes a little further than it needs to because it includes Karen. But under the circumstances, I say no blood, no foul. So, but I also will point out that your delegation goes in a very good direction in saying that your delegation requires that the director come back to you with an accounting for how this authority was exercised, which is right and proper because the statute says that the chair is still responsible for the delegated person that adheres to the law. So you've closed the loop.
Right. And that was the objective, but not just for my own sake. I wanted all the members of the board to hear the report.
Yes.
Because all of the board had approved that roster of election officials. We all have a degree of ownership in that.
So this is
Want
a
members
good
of the
model.
public to hear it too.
This is a good model.
Thank you, sir.
This document is you know, it's a good template for the director's delegation of authority according to law.
Thank you.
So this is,
I mean, I'm sorry, the chairs.
Yeah. I
delegation of authority.
understood. I understood what you're saying.
so this is, I mean, it's in effect, we don't need to do anything.
Well, it's in effect for election judges, but there is some ambiguity about the roster that we already approved. And so I thought it would make sense for all 5 members of our board to adopt a resolution that addresses filling vacancies among election assistants. And that way, everything's covered,
Right.
regardless of the role that the individuals are filling at the early voting sites.
The statute is making the distinction. as to when it comes to assistance. So, and I understand Jake is saying, let's get that, make sure that resolution, which is a delegation resolution as well, is in the record. And we don't know if we already passed that or not.
Okay.
If we haven't,
I see. We have already delegated considerable authority to Director Duncan. In my reading of 2023-07, I know that there is an expectation that we are going to define the term of this. And in my delegation, you'll see that I referenced the 2024 primary election. This delegation of authority is durable only during the 2024 primary election. And you know, we can put those kinds of constraints on whatever we decide to adopt.
And the reason we're doing it just for this year is what? Because the law may change again?
Because 2023-07 said, and having done delegations of authority in the past, the broader you make them, the more dangerous they are.
Okay.
And a narrow time frame is
Yeah, it's
easier to manage.
it's good that we're talking about this because this is new for everyone. So we have numbered memo and we have the 2 law changes
Okay.
to interpret.
Anyway, I don't know exactly what form it should take, but I would consider, and I'm only considering it, I'm thinking out loud, y'all, I'd consider making a motion to delegate to Director Duncan the authority to fill vacancies among election assistants for the 2024 primary election in Buncombe County. Again, just one member's suggestion.
Yeah, sounds fine with the authority to sub-delegate to the recruiting and outreach coordinator.
So what do you think, you guys? Should we go ahead with a motion? I don't want to do a straw poll. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
Okay. In that case, I will make a motion to delegate to Director Duncan the authority to fill a vacancy that occurs in the position of assistant for the early voting in Buncombe County for the 2024 primary election.
And you don't want to,
Any discussion of that motion?
you don't want to add the authority, her authority to sub-delegate to the.
And I would happily add,
Well, if we give her a delegation, doesn't that give her the authority?
it does. And that was the point that Mr. Aceto was making. Just so you know where I was coming from, I was reading the numbered memo when I did the delegation, and so I was just trying to do it the way they did it. But I agree. This would give Director Duncan the authority to subdelegate. And I do believe that the only person to which she would subdelegate it is the recruiting and outreach coordinator. So, motion before the board to delegate to Director Duncan the authority to fill vacancies among election assistants during early voting for 2024. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. We are going to recess and reconvene down at the Election Services Warehouse at 50 Cox Avenue. You are all invited to come. We will adjourn from the warehouse. There will be no other business that we address at the warehouse except for machine testing. So I just want you to be aware of that. We're not going to make any more appointments or review any ballots or anything. I'm just going to test machines. But I want to thank you again for all coming and for staying for so long. We really do appreciate it. So this board is in recess at approximately 6:13 p.m. And of course, the next meeting is 1 week from today, which is Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. We will once again meet at 3:30 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see some of you down at 50 Cox Avenue. Thank you, board, and I believe there is supper at the warehouse. It's here? Okay.
Do we want to set a time to meet there since we're having a
Okay.
little bit of dinner?
It is approximately 6:15. I'm thinking convene at the warehouse at 7 o'clock. Does someone have a different idea? Director Duncan? Okay, we are in recess now, and we will reconvene at 50 Cox Avenue, 7 p.m. Thanks, everybody.